Hi, and welcome to the Momversation Club, the podcast born out of the idea that every mum needs a tribe. I'm Claire Strong.
And I'm Christina Struckmeyer. We are just two moms like you navigating the chaotic, challenging, and often isolating world of motherhood.
Yep, it's certainly a crazy ride. And you've heard that saying that it takes a village to raise a child. Well, in today's crazy world, we want to know, where the F is that village?
It's a question that resonates with so many of us who find ourselves raising children, managing careers, and trying to maintain our identities, often with a sense of isolation.
Yep, but we're here to remind you that you're not alone. The Momversation Club is your village, a place where you feel valued, appreciated, and understood.
We believe that by sharing our experiences, successes, and struggles, we can create a virtual village for all you moms out there.
So join us every week for an honest, raw, and relatable discussion about all aspects of being a mom, including the stuff that you wouldn't want to talk about with anyone else.
So if you've ever asked yourself, where the F is the village, then you've found your tribe. Let's get into it. Hey Claire, how's it going?
Hi, Christina. It's going good. How about you?
I'm doing okay. I've got my
Yeah,
coffee this morning. I know you've got your tea over there. We can kind of like a virtual
I've got my
cheers.
tea, my University of Sheffield mug. That's my university right there. Yes, I need like 3 teas to start my day off. If I don't have 3 teas like off the bounce, which means, straight after each other, I can't focus. I literally can't focus. I'd be driving my kids to school, like not able to see the road properly because I haven't had my caffeine. In fact, my youngest gets really cross with me because no matter how rushed we are for school, I have to have my tea with me. And if my tea's gone cold, which often it does because I'm doing mum shit, it gets cold, so I have to quickly microwave it. And I'm always willing the microwave on to heat it faster. I'm like, please, just heat it in 3 seconds. Please, just heat it quickly. So anyway, I need at least 3 teas to start my day.
I saw a meme that reminds me of that because
Mm.
the story of the Goldilocks and the Three Bears, where they talk about
Yeah.
like mom's porridge. It's like daddy's
Oh,
porridge is
yeah.
piping hot, baby's is perfect, mom's is cold. And I'm like, I get it now. Like you're always cold. And a lot of the moms I know, when they forget about their coffee, they'll just throw ice in a cup and make it an iced coffee. Like there you go.
Well,
Ingenuity.
that's very clever, but I'm kind of traditional with my tea, so I need it hot. I need it very hot. In fact, I don't know anyone in England that actually drinks iced tea. I only discovered iced tea when I moved here because I think it's a bit of is it a southern thing? Am I right in saying? But I believe
Yeah.
they also
Yeah.
drink iced tea in Phoenix, like
Yeah,
Arizona.
they do sweet tea in the South. My dad used to make it all the time too. We called his diabetes because it had so much sugar.
Oh, that's so
So
funny.
but yeah, I know it's a thing. And then there's the hot tea that we drink, but usually ours is herbal. But you guys have a whole like art about the tea. There's like I know that one time I boiled on the stove like some water
Uh-huh.
for tea,
Uh-huh.
and I had someone who was from England, and they were like, "What are you doing? Where's your kettle?"
Oh, yes. So it's so funny. Sometimes I actually take my kettle with me when I'm traveling in the US because the chances are they don't have one.
Yeah,
And
no.
so then I've got to go through the whole palaver of boiling kettle boiling water rather on the stove in a saucepan. I mean,
Yeah,
what's that
barbaric.
all about? Yeah, exactly. It's barbaric. It's barbaric. No, anyhow, so
Oh,
you'll be glad to
man.
know I have a nice kettle that boils very quickly. Actually, this is thanks to my dad because my previous kettle was so small, it was about this big. And because I'm the only tea drinker in the house, it was fine. But when my mom and dad come and stay, like they drink triple the amount of tea that I do. And so my dad had finally had enough with this tiny kettle. So he went out and bought me a big one. So now I have a
I love
nice,
it.
fast, big kettle.
That's what parents are for. That's so wonderful. Well, I'm glad you
Yeah,
have your
it is wonderful.
caffeine and I have my caffeine because we need
Yes.
it
Oh
this
my God.
morning.
Yeah. Because full disclosure, we record these
Ah,
episodes on a Monday morning.
yes.
And Monday mornings can be kind of tricky, especially when you're a mum. You've got to get
Yeah.
kids to school. You've got to be with it. You've got to get into work mode. Monday
Yeah.
mornings are a lot.
They're tough. They're tough. And the routine of it all, like trying to jump back in. And sometimes like the weekend, I don't know about you, Claire, but it feels like I blink and it's gone. Like I was like, it was just Friday 2 seconds ago.
Well, it's funny you should say that because I literally this morning when I woke up was like, "Oh, great. Is it the weekend yet?" And it's Monday morning.
Oh no.
But I feel I have just spent my entire weekend running teenagers around.
Oh
And then we had
man.
a couple of functions that we had to go to on Friday night. It was a works function for my husband, so I had to attend that. And then on Saturday night we had a friend's party. So it was nice. They're not unenjoyable events, but you throw those in the mix with everything else you've got going on. And of course, there was a doctor's appointment that someone had on Friday afternoon. And then I'm rushing to drop the next child off at wherever she was going. And then I had to go downtown to this function. So it's a lot. I am not
Yeah.
refreshed this weekend.
I don't think that we do that as moms. I think that that's part of our situation weekends, even because it's like during this time of year, because we're in that stretch of the end of the year, right? And the
Yes.
holiday events and things like that are going on. And it seems like every weekend there's already plans for us. And then we've got the other stuff that we need to do, like our laundry catch up and our making sure our floors are mopped and like getting ahead of the week. It just feels like by the time Sunday night rolls around, I'm exhausted. I just want to lay down and like watch some trashy reality TV.
Yeah, I hear you. But speak for yourself with the floors. My floors have not been done this weekend. Kudos to you if you managed to scrub
Well,
your floors, Christina. My floors are looking very hairy
oh
with
my
dog fur.
God. So I'll let you in on a little secret. And if you come to my house, like you're not gonna eat off the floor. So like whatever. Save your judgment for later. But often when I spill something, we have baby wipes because we have a little one still in
Yes,
diapers.
yes.
And those things are wonderful. They can clean a
My God.
counter, they can clean a ground, like they clean
The car.
faces. The car,
The car.
yes, the
The best thing.
car.
So I discovered them when I was pregnant with Sophia. So I was getting all prepared for her nursery and, getting all into the nesting mode. And I swear that I have loved baby wipes ever since. I mean, I don't have toddlers, I don't have babies anymore. I don't need them for the kids. And actually, if I don't have them in the car, the girls still ask, Mom, have you got a baby wipe? And it's because they'll wipe anything.
Convenient.
Cars, leather sofas. I mean, the whole thing. In fact, I went through a stage of that's how I actually cleaned my car with baby wipes. I never like took it anywhere or used any special products for cars. I would just baby wipe it. And
Yeah.
that would be my valet of my car.
They're really the jack of all trades.
They are. They
Oh
are.
man.
So
Well,
listen, lady, I want to know, what are we chatting about today? Because you kind of chose
yes.
today's subject, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I woke up because we have, Claire and I talk about what we want to talk about a little bit
Yeah.
beforehand. So we can get kind of our idea around it, kind of get our head around the topic. But this conversation on the podcast is free flowing. We have a basic knowledge of what we're going to talk about, and then we just go for it. Today I woke up and I texted Claire and I said, Claire, I am in such a sassy mood. I woke up in one of those days where you're just like, F it. I'm wearing sweats all day. I'm not wearing a bra today. You people can just deal with it. Like it's happening. I said, there's a podcast that I've been kind of addicted to on TikTok, and we'll tag the ladies on our page, but it's called the I've Had It TikTok. And it's a podcast where these two women, they have topics where they've had it with certain things, and they kind of
Uh-huh.
use their time to rant and kind of bitch about a topic. And I went, you know what? Yes, that's what I want to do today. I would like to do an I've Had It motherhood edition. Like, let's talk about the things that are on our last nerve about being a mom right now.
Oh, I'm all over it because when I got your text, I was just thinking, my God, I haven't had a weekend. So let me kick this off with that.
Yes, yes, go.
How is it, and I don't know whether you at home agree with me on this topic, but how is it that as a mom, the weekends just blend into every other day? So if I think back to before I had kids, the weekend was a very definite downtime. So you'd be working all throughout the week, working really busy Monday through to Friday. Then Saturday, well, this is what I would do. I'd have a little lay in, get up and walk the dog, maybe go to a coffee shop, and actually have some downtime for the rest of the day. And the same with Sunday.
Sounds
So
lovely.
now, and I know I keep, banging on the same drum with this, but I'm telling you, Christina, as the kids get older, your time is in more demand because you need to taxi them everywhere and they get invited to stuff and and you want them to hang out with their friends or go to the mall or whatever it is they're doing. And so I'm in definite mum taxi mode. So from Friday afternoon at like 3 p.m. through to Sunday night at 9 p.m., I have literally had maybe 1 hour to myself in that entire time. And I did spend that hour wisely, though, and went to my happy place, the beach. So I did do that.
Oh, yeah, that is your happy
However,
place.
however, let me just tell you about that.
Okay,
It was
yes.
lovely, except I was literally on a timer for an hour because I had to leave the beach and go straight and do another taxi run. So it was nice. I'm not being ungrateful. I did get that 1 hour, but I don't feel refreshed at all. And I can't wait for the weekend. And it's Monday morning.
Yeah, and then you have to repeat the same thing over again. It's like
Yeah,
Groundhog's Day.
it is. It really
Yeah.
is. Yeah, it's a lot. So I just think as a mom, it's really difficult to actually find time to relax because even if, say, I set aside some time to do Pilates because that's my thing, I was going to do that early this morning. But then the dishwasher needed to be unloaded. Then one of the girls and then by the time you've got round to finishing off those tasks or whatever, then you don't have any time for yourself. So
Yeah.
it's hard. I mean, how do you cope with carving out time for yourself, especially at the weekends?
I don't.
Yeah,
I zone out. Like I think I put it on my profile on our website, but like in my spare time, I disassociate on TikTok. Like that's not a joke. That's like real life. And
yeah,
sometimes, I have like immense mom guilt about being on my phone. I just there's so much stuff right now where it's like, don't be disengaged. Make sure you're on the floor playing with your kids. And I'm like, you know what my mom was like? First off, if she was even awake, like my mom was, like she was like talking to a friend on the phone with like a really long cord and asking me
yeah,
to
yeah,
get the
yeah.
hell out of the room. Or like, my grandma was reading a book and I wasn't to disturb her. Like there were always something, like, and I feel like now, even though my escape and my me time is to like disassociate on the phone for a little bit, it's like the mom guilt creeps in about that too. So I don't really have an answer to that. I don't have that downtime like activity anymore. I'm with you. I'm like living vicariously through my children's weekends. I'm like, wasn't that a fun time when you did this, and this?
Yes! Yeah, exactly. Like, my daughter was invited to a jewelry party at Kendra Scott. By the way, I love Kendra Scott earrings. If anyone
Ooh,
hasn't ever
not
bought any
sponsored,
Kendra
but
Scott, we're not Kendra Scott is not sponsored. We love Kendra
we'd
Scott
love
to
her.
sponsor us, because I love Kendra. In fact, I only own Kendra Scott earrings. So these are from Kendra Scott, and you can see them. So I've got these like
Beautiful.
gold hoop earrings on for anyone that's listening to us. But the point is, my youngest was invited to the local Kendra Scott store to design her own jewelry, and then they got it at like a big discount. So she got, I think, whatever it was she bought should have been $60, and she got it for like $20 or something.
Oh,
And
that's
so
great.
I wasn't invited. In fact, I didn't even see her there because I got my husband to drop her off, and then my eldest daughter physically walked in to pick her up. So I didn't even step foot inside Kendra Scott. But like, what a cool party! So I was like elated, even though I hadn't been to this party. So she'd got herself these discounted Kendra Scott earrings. So yeah, that proves your point about us living through our
Oh
kids.
my gosh. I know, right? Well, you were
Yeah.
talking about how when you did try to have the downtime for the Pilates, like all these
Mhm.
things came up. And that's kind
Yeah.
of bringing me to my I have had it.
Okay.
So
Tell
my
me.
first I've
Get
had
Rick
it.
though. I want to hear
Yes.
this.
My first I've had it is the mental load that we have ongoingly, like a little conversation chatter in our heads of all the things we should be doing when we're doing something else. I don't know about you, but I will be doing something actively like the laundry or the dishes or sitting on the floor playing with my kid, direct eye contact, like, trying to do the things that you're supposed to do. And I'm thinking in my head, oh man, I really should meal plan. I don't know what we're going to have for dinner tonight. Oh man, I got to put that wear a Disney shirt day on the calendar or else I'll forget about the calendar. Oh, I should make that dentist appointment. Oh shit, I'm the worst. I haven't made that dentist appointment. I should have made it last month. Now we're late to the dentist. Like I'm a horrible mother. And all roads lead back to I'm a horrible mother. Like all those little
Yes.
chatters go back to you should be doing better. What's your deal?
Yes. So I just this morning had that mum guilt because I was driving my youngest to school and I suddenly got a calendar notification and it was about my dentist appointment. Now, I could have sworn it was next Tuesday, and actually it is next Tuesday. But initially I was like, oh my God, it's this morning and I've missed it. And why have I missed it? Because I don't have my you know what together. And why don't I do that? Well, that's because I'm a bad mother and I just can't cope with all these balls that I'm juggling. So I feel like that a lot. I honestly, if I'm being truthful and honest, I would say at some point every day, this is like a daily occurrence with me. I have a thought goes through my head that I am not enough.
Yeah.
Usually to do with being a mum, but even sometimes being a wife. It's like, oh, didn't that wasn't great. Maybe I'm not enough in that department. But I think as moms, we are our harshest critics.
Yeah.
And I wish that I could tell this voice in my head that isn't very nice to me just to like leave me alone, because I know I'm doing my best. Now
Yeah.
it might not be good enough, but it's my best. I might have let a ball drop and I might have forgotten something. That's pretty common for me to forget stuff. But I always think my heart's in the right place, Christina, and I am doing my best. And I know I'd do anything for my kids. I
Yeah.
do know that.
Yeah, you would. Well, on speaking of TikTok, I bring it up so much, and I'm sorry, listeners. It's part of my life. But there's this thing that talks about have you heard this, Claire, the Roman Empire theory?
No, what's this?
So try it on your husband. I don't know if it'll
Okay.
work. He's American.
Okay.
They say that men think of the Roman Empire in some capacity every single day. So you can ask your husband, like, when's the last time you thought of the Roman Empire? And he's going to probably say sometime today or sometime this week. And I think that for women and specifically mothers, I'm not good enough is our Roman Empire. Every single day, no matter what's happening, at some point we've thought that. Like it's an ongoing chatter. And what's funny is I asked Alex, about the Roman Empire, which kind of sucked because he's in on the TikTok trend, so he kind of knew.
Oh, so he knows. Well,
And
Kyle wouldn't have
he
a clue.
knew,
So.
but
Really?
he was like, they were the most civilized. He was like going on and on about all this stuff. He's like, how often do you think of the Roman Empire? I was like, literally never. I couldn't tell you one thing about it. Like I don't know. I'm going to blame public education, but like not a thing comes in here. But you asked me when's the last time I thought I was a bad mom?
Yeah.
5 minutes ago.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so funny. Well, I'm going to try that one on my
Try
husband.
it.
I hadn't heard of that. That's really interesting. But yeah, I'm with you. I think we're just so hard on
Yeah,
ourselves.
we are.
And it's, why do we do that? Is this something is this a generational thing? Is this something that society has put on us that we have to be thriving in every single aspect of our life? And if we're not there 100%, you know, being successful as a mom, as a wife, as a businesswoman, as a colleague, as a friend, as a daughter, and then we're failing. I mean, why is it we have all this on us? I don't feel that men have these pressures.
No, they don't. They don't. It's funny. Okay. So, hold on. I'll show you what there's a pile on my desk right now. I'm going to cover her face. I have these thank you notes. Okay. These are thank you notes for my
Yeah.
daughter's first birthday, which was September 6th. We are now at the end of October. There's still, look how many I have. They're still not out. And I
Oh,
was
that's
stressing
so
about it this
neat.
morning. And I was like, oh my God, I got to get those out. I got to get those out. My husband walks in because he comes in here. He's like, what's your topic for today? I'd love to hear what's going on with the podcast. And I go, oh, yeah, it's this, and this. And he goes, what's on your desk? Go, oh, those are the thank you notes for her birthday party. He goes, oh, yeah. We haven't done those yet? He hadn't thought of thank you notes not once. This has been on my mind for weeks. I'm like, I'm the worst. By the time these people are going to get their thank you notes, it's going to be Christmas. Like, just
That's so something I
they
would
don't
do.
think about it. Like they just
Yeah.
don't. And I love him to death. The thing about my husband is he's so willing to take on the load of like the household and things like that when he's able to. But
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know about you, girl, but like when I delegate things to him or I allow him to take over certain reins, it doesn't leave up here. Like I
So
let
that's
it
really
go, but I'm not letting
interesting.
it go.
Yes. So I had this conversation with my husband last night, and he actually jokingly said to me, he said, are you going to mention in one of your podcasts that I actually do stuff around the house? And I was like, yeah, credit where credit's due. He's actually probably more domesticated than I am. He's very neat and very organized. I'm kind of not that way. However, it's like what you've just said. He will say to me, "Let me know how I can help. Let me know what I can do with the girls today. Do you need me to pick one of them up?" And then 9 times out of 10, Christina, my response is, "Oh, I've got it." And
Yeah.
why don't I do that? And I'm the same as you. I feel that I still need to control the situation, and I wouldn't class myself as a control freak. I really wouldn't. But
No.
then when I'm looking at my behavior, I feel
Yeah.
like I need to do it all. I feel like by delegating, it's a failure, which is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
It's
it, like,
crazy. Why do we
attacks your
think that
character
way?
as, like, a mom. Like, you're like, "Oh, man,
Yes,
how come I can't do that? I'm glad
yes,
for your help, but how come I can't do that while I'm also doing these things?" It's this
exactly.
weird
It's almost like
phenomenon.
it is weird. It's almost like we're trying to prove to ourselves and our partners that we're Wonder Woman, and I
Yeah.
don't know why we put that pressure on ourselves.
I'm not here for that. I've had it with it. And also, I heard you say, "Let me know," right? "Let me know if you need
Yes,
help here. Let me know if you need help there."
yeah,
I feel like my spouse, he's actually like his head's gonna get so big from this podcast. But like he does things like refill prescriptions and things like that without asking me. He doesn't say, "Hey, do you need me to do this?" Like he just
oh
does it.
wow, wow, that's good.
I have never found him more attractive than when he goes to the store because we're out of milk without asking me if he should go to the store because we're out of milk. Like, I am ready to go to the bedroom. That is the hottest thing
That's
to me.
so funny.
But for so many women I talk to, that's another thing. It's like, "Let me know how I can help you." And you're like, "Great. Let me make another checklist in my brain of the ways that you can help me." It's like when you're postpartum and
Yes.
you come home from the hospital, it's like people go, "Oh, anything you need, like let me know." I don't have energy to tell you what I need. Just come help me.
So that's funny because again, so just yesterday, my husband asked me, "Is there anything I can do?" But it's at the moment where I can't think straight because I'm in it. I've like got
Yeah.
everything kicking off. I've got 5,000 things that's happening in that moment. So I don't have the brain capacity or the time or the space to actually in that moment say, "Yes, so I would like you to." I'm like, oh my God, I've got it. I'll let you know if I need your help."
So true. Oh man, girl. I think anybody can relate to that. Is what else is on your I've had it list? Because I just went on mine.
Well, where to start, honestly? Like I say, my biggest
I
I've had it
know.
right now is with it's with the weekend situation because I've had it with trying to carve out time to relax because there just isn't any of that at all. Um, I've kind of yeah, God,
That's okay,
I don't know where
Claire.
to I
I
don't
feel
know
like you
where to
just got a lot
start,
off your chest
honestly.
and maybe you feel better now.
I do. I would say that's the top of my list right now. Have you got another one that you'd like to share with the room?
Oh my god, girl, I have a list of 100, but let's keep it calm.
Well, you know what?
Oh my
Let's just
god.
also, because I know as mums we get so overwhelmed and we feel
Yeah.
that everything's just hitting us from all angles. But let's try and, start the day, start the week on a positive, and let's think
Okay.
of something that we actually that's working right now, that we actually were feeling it. It's actually, we're feeling really positive. What's that for you right now?
Um, like a here for it. Like I'm here for this.
Yeah,
Like
exactly. Like I'm here for it.
I am here for help. So I am one of those people that if you offer to help me and you've got a specific thing that you can help with, yes. The answer is yes, 100%. I am not too proud to ask for help. I am asking for help at all times. I will beg you like Oliver Twist, like yes. And so right now, I have every Monday a babysitter that comes to my house from 8 to noon. She comes
Love
Mondays and
it.
Fridays. And I'm a stay-at-home mom. And so I'm like, and I have this podcast. This is our passion project, but like I felt some type of way about having a babysitter because I'm like, well, I'm not earning it, right? Because I'm not working and I'm not producing financial income to pay for said babysitter. But my husband said, you need that space. Like, you don't turn off as a mother. You don't have time where you can just go be you. And it is important for your mental health for you to have that time. If you want to use it for your podcast, that's great. Otherwise, maybe you could just go to the coffee shop and drink some coffee by yourself. And so that help for me is like saving my sanity. and I'm doing it against all instincts to keep it because my husband's adamant that we need to have that there. And I love it so much, but like, again, that mom guilt. Oh, you can't take care of your kids. You need to take some time off from your job of being a mother. It's like, no, we all need a breather.
You know, my God, Alex, I'm going to give you the biggest brownie point for that because I think there is among men and maybe among society, not just men, other women as well. If you're not working, then that's your job. If you're not working, then looking after the kids is your job. So you don't deserve to have a babysitter. You don't deserve to have. Why do you need time to yourself? You're not working, and
Yeah.
that is one hell of a guy right there. He's a
Yeah.
catch because to have a guy that understands that even though you may not be working in the traditional sense of the word, you are still working. And you also need, it's equally as important that you have some downtime for yourself. Otherwise, you cannot possibly be at your best in any of the other roles that you have in your life. So I
Yeah.
love that.
Well, and
Love it.
the help situation, I also have a mother-in-law that lives pretty close. And so sometimes I don't even need the help, but just the idea that help is there, that I can reach out and get that life preserver if I feel like I'm drowning, that saves my ass so much. So I am here for helping hands.
Well, yes, big brownie points to Alex for that. I love that. So the funny thing is, my youngest daughter is really into ASMR. You know that
I'm sorry, I just messed with someone's like senses.
all of that.
Claire.
Tea from a cup like this. That type of thing.
We
Anyhow, no, that sounded like freaky. It sounded like I
I
was some sort of
did.
like psycho killer. Yeah, I
Uh,
couldn't do that. The
yeah.
point is, and I promise you it's relevant to our conversation. My youngest likes to listen to ASMR on YouTube, and she often does it on my phone. So last night I was like clicking off YouTube, and she'd been on this ASMR video, and it's this young woman. It's ASMR Oceana, and so she seems like a really nice girl. She does the whole thing,
Uh-huh.
and she hasn't got kids. She's in her early 20s or something, but she made this fantastic point, which I was not expecting to hear from her. She said something like she was pretending to have this role play with this like imaginary client that she was doing eyelashes for or something. And she said, "Oh, it's funny." She asked this woman or whoever if she'd got kids, and this imaginary woman said must have said yes. And this young girl said, "It's so funny because you never heard hear the term working dad. You always hear the term working mum." And I thought that was really, really interesting because when have you ever heard that word working dad? So, what that implies to me is that a mum, in addition to her, job as a mother, the fact that she's working outside of the home is, something I don't know. It's just, I just don't see. I don't see how that's equal. I think that's just shining a light, the fact that we have that term working mother. And the other thing is, what I would say about that, Christina, and this is what I took from it anyway, I don't know how you interpret it, but then that means that the mums that don't work, are they not doing enough? Are they just sat at home filing their nails? Do they not work as well?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think we've talked about the division between working moms, stay-at-home moms, and like that
Yeah.
type of situation. But I
Uh-huh.
think that again, it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, which is like our identity and all the things that we're supposed to be and we're not enough. And so I think that when women hear the term working mom or women who have it all or career women, there is a sense of like, you aren't enough if you're not also doing those things. And I
Yeah.
think that there's enough room at the table for all of us to parent differently and do different things. And a lot of the rhetoric that's negative about that stuff comes from within, comes from the stay at home mom herself talking to herself.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
it's might
we've
not
just
even be
got to
coming at
do
you.
I agree, and I just think as mums, as women, we need to do better. We need to own this. We need to do a better job of talking nicer to ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have
I've
to do that.
had
No one else can do that for us.
it.
Hey?
I've had it with our mean talking. I mean, here's the
Yes,
deal. It's
yes.
like
Actually, that's another one. Let's mutually agree on that. We've had it with the mean girl, the inner mean girl. What's that
Yeah.
about? Who the hell is she? She needs to get lost. She needs
Yeah,
to take a hike.
and if you were to have like a third party here, and then the things that you're saying to yourself, Claire, there was a third person here saying those things to you. I would, if I was wearing hoop earrings like you, I would take off my hoop earrings and be like, "Stop talking about my friend Claire like that, because I'm gonna kick your ass." Like,
That's so
I
true.
would,
But you
I would do
would.
that.
So yeah, so this is so why do we do this? Because you're right. If we were witnessing someone else talk about someone like that, or someone talking to us like that, we'd be like, that's
Piss
really
off.
rude. Yeah. What the
Yeah,
hell?
yeah,
Yeah. So ladies, we need to be nicer to ourselves. We do.
yeah. So you're here for it is
I'm
being nicer to ourselves.
Yeah, it really is. It is. That's what I'm here for. And other mums supporting each other. Let's not get mean. Let's not criticize each other. We're all going through, what. We all have it, even though we might look, different on social media or whatever. It's not. Don't believe it. It's not true.
Well,
It's not
and
true.
also it's like an unlearning process, right? Like anything that's been generationally kept up and like layered on to parenting and generations upon generations, you have to recognize and be awakened to that behavior and then
Yes.
purposefully stop it. And so if you feel yourself going into that space of comparison or starting to get mean or nasty about another mother, even internally,
Hmm.
just put a stop to that. Be like, oh, we don't do that anymore. I do that with my own self-talk with my body. I find myself going, "Oh, you should be smaller. You fit those jeans last year." Brr, 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 brr. Like, and I go,
Yes.
"We don't do that anymore, Christina. Like we are in a season of our bodies shifting and growing. It is okay. Buy bigger pants. It's not a big deal."
I love it. You're so mature. I need you to be my therapist.
Girl,
We
I
all
don't.
need it. We all need a Christina.
We're all just trying our best, okay?
We are,
Oh
and
my
that's why
god.
we're here.
Yeah, for
That's what
sure.
this is about.
Yeah. So what about the viewers? So you guys,
Mm.
I would love to hear like what's your current I've had it. Like what's the thing that you're irritated about right now? And what are you here for? Like what are some things that you're here for in this moment when it comes to motherhood or culture around motherhood or anything related to like your identity right now?
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you. So please comment, and comment down below, and we'll respond, and we'll have a nice old chat about, like Christina said, what you've had enough of, and what you're actually enjoying. That's really kind of floating your boat right now when it comes to being a mum. So that brings us to the end of another episode of the Momversation Club.
And if you've liked today's show, please don't forget to subscribe, like, leave a review. Your support helps us reach even more moms and build a stronger village.
Yes, it certainly does. And remember, we're here for you. And together, I promise, we'll figure out where the F is that village.
See you next time.
Bye.